welcome Lance McDaniel, Executive Director of deadCenter, and Kindt Myers, Kindt Events, to Parties Extra. We are in the Oklahoma's video studio in Oklahoma City. I'm Helen Ford Wallace, and glad you all are here.
Well, thank you. We're excited to be here.
Thanks for having us.
And Lance, it's coming up.
It's coming up in less than a week. 6 days from now.
Okay.
Tell us about it. 32,000 of our closest friends hanging out downtown Oklahoma City.
Is that how many come?
It's grown a little bit more than 30 each year. So this year we think we'll have 32 to 35,000, and it's great because it has an economic impact between $4.8 to $5 million just for those 4 days here in Oklahoma City.
Plus you have 135 films and all after parties.
And yes, and so what we're excited to talk to you about, and the reason that we wanted Kindt here, is that for the last several years, Kindt Myers has really been the reason that our deadCenter parties have gone to the next level and have become super exciting and also very professional. And he has partnered and he's brought in some great sponsors like Svedka Vodka, Corona Beer, and Charles Smith Wines. So when you come to all of our parties, you get complimentary beverages, and so that keeps people coming back.
For sure, for sure. That is part of the hook. This year, one of the most exciting things is that our opening night party has moved and it's changed a little bit. Where one of our great longtime partners, Oklahoma City Museum of Art, will host a welcome reception from 5 to 7 with champagne.
And isn't that nice?
Yes, it will be lovely. It'll be there at the lobby level before some of those opening night films screen. And then from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. we'll move all those guests and invite them over to the Jones Assembly. And that opening night party is sponsored by the Social Order. Yes.
And so the Social Order Dining Collective is Brian Bogard and Manny LeClaire, and they've been longtime sponsors of ours, and they own Fuzzy's. And so Fuzzy's in Bricktown, which is just packed all summer, has been the official Bricktown home of deadCenter every year for the last several years. And so they'll have actually a remote location that if you have a deadCenter pass, you can go to Fuzzy's and order food and not wait in line, and then they'll have an extra person at the bar. And so so the Social Order has been a very, very big sponsor of ours for several years. And then now, the Jones is kind of their crown jewel, and we had our kickoff party with Gary Busey there last year, and the building survived, and so now we're coming back this year.
And you all need to take pictures at those parties. Those are great parties.
Absolutely.
Okay, so back to the films.
Back to the films. So we have 135 films this year, and that's the most we've ever shown. And we have a new director of programming named Sarah Thompson, and she was our shorts programmer for 6 years, and now she is the overall programmer. And so we had 1,300 films. We have the most we've ever had submitted, and so we chose about 22 feature-length films, half doc, half narrative, and then 102 short films, and then 11 virtual reality films.
And you're showing them all over downtown Oklahoma City.
Yes, and so we'll be at the Museum of Art, we'll be at Harkins in Bricktown on 5 screens, and then our virtual reality films will be at 21C Museum Hotel, and they'll be around all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 6. And then we're going back to the Myriad Gardens, which has been a longtime partner of ours, and it's just a wonderful kind of emerald jewel right in the middle of town.
Is it outdoors?
It is outdoors, and we are thrilled to announce that we're partnering with the Oklahoma City Thunder to world premiere a movie about Nick Collison called Mr. Thunder, and so that's about a 30-minute movie that'll play around 9 o'clock. Outdoors for free. Bring your blankets, bring your chairs, and so there will be a lot of obviously enthusiasm because of the Thunder. And then following that, there will be a movie called If I Leave Here Tomorrow about the rock band Leonard Skinner, and it's fabulous. And so it's a very classic rock dog where there's tons of performances and lots of music. So it's going to be a wonderful night under the stars.
And then you'll have your after party.
Absolutely, absolutely. So after party is big every year, and this year we're back at the Myriad Gardens. I mean, that party kicks off immediately following the closing night film, Leonard Skinner documentary. And so that party is sponsored by Svedka Vodka. We have Flowing Corona Light, and all of our sponsors really kick in and make that party huge. So we expect hundreds and hundreds of people to come, and we dance. There's a DJ and some live entertainment. So it's fantastic.
Well, how did this Nick Collison, how did that come about?
Well, so we've been partnering with the Thunder for years, and part of it was our festival is during the finals, the NBA finals, and so it was never such that they could commit to something because they're still playing. Well, and our board voted very early on when we went to the finals the first time, should we move so that we're not in the middle of NBA finals, and everyone agreed, no, it's better for Oklahoma City if we're showing movies outside side, when TNT is doing a flyover, it makes Oklahoma City look better for all of the arts groups to still stay as part of that celebration. And so our board voted, we kept it, and since then they've just been a great partner. And so we partner throughout the year on different things, and they came to us, they said, we're going to make a really special movie that we'd like for you to take a look at and like your judges to see. So they submitted the film and let us look at it, and of course our judges just thought it was awesome. And Nick Collison really is kind of the backbone of the Thunder team and has been with the franchise for 15 years. And so when they told us what it was about, I was just, I'm a huge Thunder fan, so for me it was just a dream come true, and I hope they make a movie about a player every year. Yes. We've got plenty of room for stories about the Thunder player.
So do you all have stars coming?
We do have a few stars coming, glad you asked. So, we have 3 people that are winning the Oklahoma Film Icon Award, and those are Alfre Woodard, who is a 4-time Emmy Award winner, and she won one for St. Elsewhere. I mean, she's been winning Emmys longer than I've been in the business, and she's Oklahoma's most awarded actress. And so she'll be here, and she's doing a presentation. She's doing a presentation for young girls on the northeast side at the Ralph Ellison Library on Saturday morning that it will not be open to the public, but we've invited a group of Girl Scouts and high school girls to come, and basically, because she used to travel with President Obama, she used to travel with him and basically represent the arts and go into schools and talk to different students, kind of inspiring them to reach for more. And so she'll be doing that on Saturday morning, and then what is open to the public is on Saturday night at the Museum of Art, so that would be June 9th. She will be doing a very special evening with Brandy McDaniel right here from the Oklahoman.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they'll be having an evening with her showing clips, and this is at 5:30 at the Museum of Art. And then Ryan Merriman, who is a Choctaw guy that became a very famous child star and was on 3 different Disney series, I think 10 different movies, and so he was on the Disney Channel for years. And then he has progressed into a very successful adult actor, and so we'll be honoring him as well. And he stars in a movie called The Jurassic Games that we're showing here. That's done by Ryan Belgard, who's a filmmaker here. And so
these are your honorees.
These are the honorees. So it's Alfre Woodard, Ryan Merriman, and then a woman named Kim Voyner. And so when I didn't mention, but Ryan will be doing a hosted discussion with Nathan Poppy on Saturday at 1 p.m. at ACM, and then Kim Voyner will be kicking off our Tech Center initiative. So we partnered with the Chickasaw Nation this year to present a new program, which is Tech Center, and we're going to focus on virtual reality, augmented reality, and drones. And it'll be open all weekend at 21C Museum Hotel. But on Friday the 8th, from 12 to 5, we'll have speakers every half hour, and we'll have panel discussions.
Businesses, you have a lot of businesses.
We have a lot of businesses.
12,
so
I think.
Yes, and so it's not only what's happening with those technologies in movies, but Baker Hughes, which is a GE company, will be talking about how they're using drones with augmented reality to fly over western Oklahoma and assess what's going on with oil rigs. And then you can put on a virtual reality headset when you get back to the office and fix the problems that are happening remotely. And so they're going to show, and the Thunder has one. There's one called Occupath that's going to be used for job training. And so there's a lot of different uses of these technologies, and we're launching this tech fair to show that, hey, these technologies are bridging the gap between the film industry and every other industry.
Where's all that set up?
All that's going to be at 21C Museum Hotel, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it'll be open from 10 to 6, and all the presentations are on that Friday, noon to 5.
That's a lot of doing.
It's a lot of stuff, but what's great is, because we work very hard to try to provide for the community, and so we have a ton of sponsors. The Chickasaw Nation has been a super large sponsor of ours for a very long time. They support the arts so much, and they also make movies, so they see a value in the success of our festival. So they're sponsoring Tech Center, and then the Oklahoma Film and Music Office is handling a free panel discussion at ACM, Academy of Contemporary Music, which is a UCO school down on Bricktown Canal, all day on Saturday. So we have all these free events to go to, and then for the films, we've got 135 films to see. And do you want to do a rundown of the parties each night?
Yeah, do that.
Sure. So, opening night party, we've mentioned we'll have a welcome reception at the Oklahoma City Museum of Art from 5 to 7 p.m. And then opening night party is from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. at the Jones Assembly down on Film Row, sponsored by the Social Order Dining Collective. And so that's Thursday. Friday night, we have 5 to 7 p.m. And that is a night that we're activating the Paramount building on Film Row. So we'll have a karaoke party downstairs that's open to the public. Upstairs will be a pass holder lounge for pass holders, and we'll have Corona Light and a DJ up there, and Charles Smith Wines. And then later in that evening, we have Friday Night Film Row Frolic, and that's hosted at Dunlap Cotting. And They are
all
a
kind of have a
fantastic
little
partner.
theme going.
Yes, yes, and DJ's there, and food and beverage, of course, hosted for pass holders. And then Saturday night, following the closing night film, Leonard Skinner documentary, will be at the Marriott Gardens at the Park House about 10:30 p.m.
And you couple weeks ago, you had your kickoff party. So
Yes.
What was that? Studio 54.
Studio 54.
Was that the same theme as last year?
No, so we have a new theme every year. So one of the challenges we give Kindt is how do we get more people here and what theme will do it?
Yes.
And we were very nervous this year because last year we had Gary Busey and people flocked to see him. So we had 850 people show up for the Gary Busey party last year. We're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to top that? And we were talking and the theme came up of
Studio 54, and we said let's do it in all its glory. So we sort of took the theme way back, and the guests and folks who participated, they went to the max. I mean, totally to the nines with costumes and food and beverage and exotic animals. And we had a sort of prop master, local artist, Rachel Gruntmeyer, who just knocked it out of the park with some of those thematic elements. So we were thrilled about it.
And we ended up getting 900 people. So it's the biggest party we've
Oh my gosh.
we've
So you had lots of glitter, friends, gold.
Well, and I had told people that we thought about half would dress up, half wouldn't, and I read it was 90% dressed up. So
What did you all wear?
Oh, something tasteful. Something super professional.
And then you had these animals they were taking pictures of.
Yes. Kangaroos. People could not get enough of that baby kangaroo.
The toucan bird.
You've always had toucan. I mean, even the parties I went to early on, you've had those birds. I was going,
That's so
wow.
great.
I mean, you could watch those birds
We love
forever.
that. A staple. The toucan is a staple.
Exactly. Well, the other thing is, and they did this at the ballet, but Kindt had the idea of let's open up the dance floor, the stage, instead of getting entertainers to be on the stage, let's allow the people to go up there and be the entertainment.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's a good idea.
It was amazing how effective that was.
Yes.
And so tons of people
people-
got on stage and never left. I
Never
mean,
left.
For 4 hours. And big sponsors of ours, a few board members.
Yes.
So we have all these photos of our board chair just
Having a
going,
great time.
yeah, Emily Blasky, and she's with Tapstone Energy, and she's been awesome. And I do think it's worth mentioning that in addition to Kindt and his team, we get a ton of support from a really great board of directors. And Emily Blasky from Tapstone Energy has been leading us. And the only reason we're able to throw all of these parties and do all of these new events is because we have a business community that is supporting us financially. And so we have a lot of new sponsors this year, corporate and individual, and some new foundations. And so we're very grateful for that. And we know that we only exist because of the generosity of the community here in Oklahoma City.
Have you listed your main sponsors yet?
Yeah, well, so our main sponsors, our biggest sponsors are Allied Arts, which is a huge sponsor of all the arts here.
Yes.
The Chickasaw Nation, Dunlap Cotting, Inasmuch Foundation, Charles Smith's Wines, Corona Light, and Svedka, and then we've got a whole other level of them. So we are very grateful.
Lots of help.
We get lots of help, and like we've had, so our $10,000 sponsors are like OG&E, Devon, the Oklahoma City Chamber, the Oklahoma Film and Music Office, Stella Nova. So we get a lot of support from a broad base in the community, and I think that's the reason why we're able to exist, why great events like Red Earth and Prix de West. I mean, the fact is we're on a very busy weekend here. Next weekend there's a ton going on, and we're so excited that the corporate community is willing to buy into all of these different groups that are trying to do something different to make Oklahoma City special.
Oh my gosh, there's just lots to do. So, Lance, let's talk about your own personal trio of short films.
Yes.
And last year you had a film.
I did. I had a film called Swirl last year, and it was a dance film that I did with a woman named Hee Cha Poos, and she's a professor at UCO, and then she also runs Race Dance Company. And so so we partnered last year, and it was kind of a simple story. So I said, okay, well, how complex can we get? And she said, anything you can say, I can dance.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right.
Yes.
So we picked the most challenging topic possible. It's about a woman getting out of prison because we, like everyone in Oklahoma, we're worried about why there's so many women in prison, and so we wanted to kind of explore that. And so it's about a woman getting out of prison, going back to her family, and then trying to overcome her addiction to meth. And it's all told through dance and music. And so it's a very different kind of RC piece. It's very different for me, but it was in that it's not just
I can't
tons of
believe
chatter.
you thought that up. That's kind
Well, Melissa Scaramucci and I did. So
that's
Melissa
very-
Scaramucci and I wrote it, and Matt.
That is awesome.
It is great, and Matt Stansberry, did all the music with Vinnie Hogan, and so there's just there's a lot of great artists here. And the fun thing about that was we went home to where I grew up, which is Alfre, Oklahoma, and we auditioned. 75 people auditioned, and we gave everyone that auditioned a role. We had 25 people from the community working on the film.
In Alva?
In Alva. 25
and it's
albums.
called, what's it called?
It's called the Homecoming Trilogy, and it's about a woman coming home. And then we also did a virtual reality film that will be part of the virtual cinema at 21C.
When does Homecoming when does that show?
That shows on Saturday night. So for the first time, we're showing our Okie Shorts, which is our most popular program, at the Museum of Art. And we talked to the museum. We're like, the quality of films has gotten so great. We'd love to move it there. And so on Saturday night at 8, after Alfre Woodard, you can stay and see Okie Shorts. And I'm one of, I think, 12 movies, and they're all super different and very interesting.
They're always interesting,
Yeah.
every one of them. Well, okay. Anything else about the films?
No, well, the only one I haven't mentioned. I think the only one I haven't mentioned is Alex Picard, and I have to mention her because she does the lion's share of the work at our organization. She's our director of operations, and she and I have been with deadCenter the same amount of time, and we both volunteered for 5 years and then got hired, and so now it's Sarah and Alex and I just tell you those two women are really the reason this thing happens, and I get a lot of the credit because I'm out talking publicly, but the fact is those women are doing a ton of work, and so I'm very grateful to have two awesome
and volunteers. You got a lot
and then
of
Crystal
volunteers.
Yusuf does all of our PR now, and she's just been great. So we have great team members, and then we also have, I think, 400 volunteers that are being trained right now. So I am a small drop in the bucket of all the awesome people that are helping with deadCenter.
Okay, so how do they get tickets?
Great. So you go to our website, which is deadcenterfilm.org, and you register for the passes there. And an all-access pass is $200 and gets you into every movie and every party and every event. If you just want to try it out and go see a movie or two, we have the free movies on Saturday night at the Myriad Gardens starting at 9, or you can wait in line and buy a ticket for $12 for any of the screenings we're doing. The daytime screenings usually are easier to get into than the nighttime.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be really fun. You can go to our website, and then you can also buy them in person at IAO Gallery starting next Tuesday all week. So
Good. Well, do you have any tips for people coming downtown?
Yes.
Driving?
Yes. Go down Classen. If you're coming downtown, go down Classen and take a left on Sheridan, and you can park right in front of IAO Gallery, get that ticket, and you're good to go.
Yes.
Good. So, okay, now you all are still working out in the state.
Yes, so we still go to
Film
30 high
classes,
schools every fall and do free film classes. And this next year, we're gonna mix it up a bit. We're gonna partner with Art Space Untitled. I've been meeting with Laura over there, and our goal is to provide more intensive film camps for people that are a part of the Oklahoma City Public Schools. And so we've been focusing on rural Oklahoma a lot. We're gonna continue that program, but we're gonna add a different one where we're refocusing on Oklahoma City Public Schools.
I mean, you have so much going on. I mean, you've got the statewide.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then you've got all the drones, and you've got the you've got all that going, and then all these films.
Well, we're trying to stay relevant. I mean, the media landscape changes constantly, and it's our job. I think the 4 or 5 of us spend a lot of time thinking about what's next, what's new, how can we make this more exciting, how can we get you off your awesome couch and sound system at home, and get you into our movie theater. And so we have to do things that are new and exciting, and we think that virtual reality and drones and that kind of technology is something that people aren't really experiencing at home as much, and so you can come experience it with us.
Okay, website?
Website, www.deadcenterfilm.org.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else about the party?
Visit the website, because the great thing about your all-access pass is that is the pass to parties. You can buy your way into any of those one films, so long as there's space and daytime, that's easier. But the only way to enter those parties is through your pass, a sponsor pass, filmmaker, or an all-access pass. So we encourage people to grab that and come and party with us.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, anything else about deadCenter?
No, thank you again, and we really appreciate your support of the festival. And
Oh my
thanks
gosh,
so much, Helen.
it's always been great. It's always been great. So Lance and Kindt, thanks for taking time to tell us what we have to look forward to. What a great event for Oklahoma City. deadCenter has grown so much since the beginning. You have everything a film goer could possibly hope for. Have a wonderful time.
Thank you so much for having us, and we'll see you next weekend, everyone.
Okay.